So a little bit of background about saber-toothed cats. There's two that survived right up until the end of the Pleistocene, the Smilodon species and the Homotherium species. And in Eurasia, we have one really wide-ranging species called Homotherium latidens. But unfortunately, Smilodon seems to get all the attention because it's much more famous. And so we can look at them as kind of related animals, probably as different from each other as, say, something like a spotted hyena and a striped hyena. And so they have both Smilodon and Homotherium both have the same basic body plan. We can use this action figure to show that. So they have short tails. They have very robust front limbs. So their kind of front limbs are kind of bear-like for grappling. And of course they have quite long and very muscled necks. And of course they're very famous for their saber teeth. So this is a model of Smilodon, but it's practically the same in Homotherium as well. If we look at, here's a kind of model of a Smilodon skull, about half size. So some of the interesting things about saber-toothed cats is although their teeth are enormous, their jaws have to be able to open much wider just to be able to access the food they're trying to eat. And compared to modern cats, they have a really tiny ascending ramus, this little bit of bone that sticks out of the jaw where the kind of muscles to close the jaw bind on. So this tells us that they actually had quite a weak bite in terms of the lower jaw, but actually all the power is coming from the muscles that are here at the back of the head. The neck muscles are the ones that are doing all the hard work when these cats are hunting and taking down prey. So I've got some more replicas here. So this is a kind of one-to-one replica of what a Smilodon saber-toothed canine would look like. So it's pretty huge, like banana-sized, probably comparable to an average T-Rex tooth. And here we have, in comparison, the tooth of Homotherium latidens. This is actually a cast of a tooth from Kent's Cavern in Devon. So this is from an English saber-tooth. And what's interesting if you compare the two is that obviously a lot of the root is broken off from this one. But with Homotherium, it's hard to see on the video, but it's actually serrated on both sides like a steak knife. Whereas in Smilodon, those serrations tend to wear off pretty quickly, and so you don't find them in the adult animals. Also in Homotherium, it tends to be quite a lot shorter and also a bit wider and flatter in their teeth as well. So that's some of the main differences between Homotherium. The skull shapes are pretty different too. I don't have, sadly, a cast of a Homotherium skull to show you, but you can look them up online, and they're hugely impressive. They have enormous skulls with big mandibles. But this is a Homotherium cast from an example from Kent's Cavern in Devon. So these animals were found in Britain, and we actually have quite a few examples of fossils of what is an incredibly rare taxon in the British fossil record, which is pretty cool.